I keep accidentally hitting the off button on the record. But what I'm doing is I'm painting the scales with a very fine tipped brush, acrylic paints, which I make a huge mess of. But that's okay. Paints are made for mixing. You got to mix them up if you want to get the right colors. And I've always been good at mixing colors. It's just the intuition, call it. Or just call it raw talent. You know, I'm starting to realize as I do more and more of this that I still have talent. I haven't used my artistic talent in, oh my god, decades. Ever since I was, what do you call it, whenever you become disenfranchised after the Art Institute turned out to be a big scam and I couldn't break into the field. My creativity plummeted. Plus I became a drug addict at the same time. Uh, I still have an addictive personality, but I'm not on those drugs anymore. I was on opioids big time. It was bad for from 2001 to about 2008. I was hooked on anything that had an opioid in it. I used to buy poppy pods from Joann's Arts and Crafts. They had no idea they were selling pure morphine. And the same thing with Central Market and a lot of these grocery stores that specialize in, specialty items that you don't get, you can't find, in normal grocery stores, like poppy seeds in bulk. And Fiesta Mart would sell them too. I never broke the law. I never bought street drugs. Ever. Never in my life have I done that. For one thing, I'm too shy to have that kind of personality to where I can just mix and mingle with other addicts. So I always bought my drugs legally from grocery stores. Isn't that ironic? Anyway, the poppy seeds they used to sell at Central Market were just, I mean, if they didn't, somebody's whistling. If they would have known that they were selling narcotics like pure morphine, my God. It was really funny, actually, in a way. But I used to buy in bulk, and they were cheap bulk poppy seeds. Sometimes they were not good quality. A lot of time they were. I knew how to, from experience, which stores to go to. It was always Fiesta Mart or World Market or uh, Central Market. And I would load up on those things and make tea out of them. It's not hard. You just put them in a jug, put a little water in it, shake it up real good for 5 minutes, strain it out, leave all the seeds in there, but strain it out. And hey, that's looking pretty good. And then you guzzle it down, and it's not a very good taste, but I got used to it. I did this for years, and I was hooked. It was a life ruining experience. It really was, potentially, if I hadn't got off of them. Thank God I'm afraid of needles. I never shot anything up, or I really would have been screwed. Somebody's whistling out there. I wonder if Ed's here. Anyway, I finally got off the poppy pods and poppy seeds and the opioids. And I got off the alcohol. I'm doing pretty good right now, as long as I have my prescription drugs, which are, for the daytime, it's Adderall. I gotta have it. Or else, you see what I'm doing right here, right now? It's becomes impossible. I can't focus. I can't find motivation. So I have to have the Adderall. And it's a lifesaver. It makes me, how to put it? gives me a reason to go on, to keep going, no matter how bad it gets. Whenever I know that the next day can be better, because for a long time I lived in despair that it would never get better until it started getting better. But that came along with a big dose of insomnia, and I'm not going to talk about that again. I talked about that last time. Let's talk about the models this time. Okay, back when I was a kid, like 1981 to 1985, I was uh from you say 10 years old to 15 years old. This was my hobby, doing what I'm doing right now. Except as a kid, I I mean, I'm not sure if I had the same amount of skill back then or not, but I still made some really good models. They were a lot bigger. Somebody's definitely whistling. I don't want to get up and go outside. Anyway, uh I built a Klingon battle cruiser from, remember Star Trek 1, the very first Star Trek movie? And those Klingons, they got ixnayed by V'ger. Those really cool Klingon ships. I built one of those. That was awesome. I also built USS Enterprise NCC-1701A, the one from the motion picture, not from the series. I built that thing and it ruled. It was awesome. Oops. And I also I built a lot of Star Wars stuff. I built, those chicken walkers. They call them chicken walkers. The ATSTs, the two-legged Imperial walkers. I built one of those that was just off the hook. It ruled, really good. It had articulated legs and everything. I built a Millennium Falcon. All this out of cereal boxes, and like I'm doing now. I built a Millennium Falcon that was. I can only remember this. Okay, how old am I now? I'm 50. I built the Millennium Falcon when I was about 13, so I'm really shitty at math. How long ago is that? This 33 years ago. So for a kid, building models out of cardboard, because we were dirt poor, on rare days, treat days, I was able to get mom or dad to buy me an actual plastic resin model kit from Walmart. I didn't know any better that they were pure crap. But I built them, and they looked good. But what I did mostly, because we were so poor and lived 100 million thousand gazillion miles from Walmart, was I would just figure out how to do it myself, build them out of cereal boxes. And for about 5 years, I had a heyday going where I was can you see this? Okay. Where I was building cardboard models. Let's see if I can remember what I built. I built the shuttle Tidarium, which was Darth Vader's and the Emperor's shuttle. The one with the wings that would fold up when it landed, and the huge dorsal tail, kind of like a shark fin, sticking up from the top. And then the front of it was just this wedge kind of what do you call it? Geometrical object, a rhombus, not a rhombus. Anyway, it was like a rectangle but narrower as you got to the bottom. Anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, the shuttle Tidarium, I built one of those with wings that would fold up and down, and a little ramp that would open in landing gear. I built that. I built the Millennium Falcon. I built a B-wing fighter. That was a royal bitch to build, because if you know what a B-wing fighter is, you know that the cockpit is attached to the body with this rotating mechanism. And so I had to build this thing. I need more black paint. Hold on. I had to build this thing with a rotating mechanism, plus wings that would open and close. So if you know what a B-wing fighter is, you know what I'm talking about. I built one of those. It was really good. I built, let's see, what is that? It's an ATST, the Millennium Falcon, Shuttle Tidarium, and ATST. Um, well, the Star Trek stuff, which was the NCC 1701A, the Klingon battlecruiser. I've built a bird of prey, like from the Voyage Home, where they hijacked that Klingon ship, the bird of prey, and I built an X-wing, of course, which was off the chain, off the hook. These are words I wouldn't have used back then because they weren't words back then. You didn't say, "Oh, that's off the hook, that's off the chain." Uh, just suffice to say that they were awesome. Lots of detail. My dad even wrote me this little letter. This it was awesome. I have a picture of it scanned in my phone, congratulated me. It was like he designed it as it was a letter from Jor-El, Superman's dad, congratulating me, offering me the monthly award of official cardboard artist award of the month in the galaxy, something corny like that. And he even drew a little seal, a stamp seal at the top of it, with little flames and things. I mean, Dad's a good artist too, so he drew this thing for me and wrote the letter congratulating me on my cardboard accomplishments. And I've forgotten all about it until he took a picture of it, or he scanned it and he sent a picture of it to me, and all those memories came rushing right back. And right as this was happening, I discovered, and I talked about this in my last video, I discovered another channel called Epic Cardboard Props. Okay, that's the name of the channel on YouTube. The guy runs it. His name is Raphael. Now, every prop that he makes, he kind of has the similar introduction for each one. He starts out by saying he's French. How do you do a French accent? Hello, I am Raphael, and I have this special talent. Maybe I'm sounding more German. I work as a Steadicam operator in the movie industry, and I'll just do it in English with no accent. And I have a special talent. I'm also really good at building props, movie props, out of cardboard. And it was about a year and a half ago when I discovered his channel. And just the name Epic Cardboard Props, I was looking at resin model builds, is what I was looking at to begin with, because I was wanting to get into building resin models. But then when I discovered his cardboard channel, it's like, I'd forgotten all about the days I used to, when I used to model, here, let me adjust my reference. I'd forgotten about my models that I used to build. I mean, it was like memories that had just disappeared. And I saw his channel, and I watched a couple of his builds. His first build that I watched was the X-Wing fighter. Now, Raphael Rafe is what I call him to kind of get his goat. Of course, it's a legitimate nickname, or it's not unheard of. Anyway, I ragged him a little. I mean, I was impressed. The thing is, Raphael has motivated me. He is the one who made me remember this, and who motivated me to actually start giving it a try again, because I'm suffering. I've got all kinds of problems now, which I've already gone over, and I won't go over again. But I'm suffering, feeling like dead weight, living with Mom, feeling like a failure. And then I come across his channel, and he's building stuff like he's building the same things I used to build, when I was a kid. And I watched him build his X-Wing, and I was like, holy cow. I used to do that. it was like an epiphany, like getting hit in the head or something, you know, remembering something that you had forgotten, completely forgotten. And so I was like, what if I started doing that again? And so it's his, I owe it all to him, basically, the motivation anyway. I owe the motivation for getting back into this hobby to discovering his channel and watching him build his props. He is, and I've said this, someone, he has 100,000 subscribers, which is really good. I think, I don't know what his he says he's a steady cam operator in the movie industry, but as far, I've had a little bit of discourse with him, and he's alluded to the, he hasn't come right out and said it, but he said something like, when your YouTube channel becomes your main source of income, you know, just that, I'm like, oh, wow, this is his job. Holy shit. And so I decided, not thinking that I would actually be successful at doing it on YouTube. That wasn't even a thought I had in my head. First, I just wanted to build them. So I started building an X-Wing. Hang on, let me just show you how far I've gotten on the X-Wing. Oh, but I had to put it down because Smaug took over. Okay, here's my box. Box O X-Wing parts. I've got wing design, the wings, another wing, you know, another wing. Except, see, this X-Wing is going to be painted like the space shuttle, black on the bottom and white on top. Engines I've built. Engine parts. This is like the rear part of the engine. I mean, I've done a lot of work on this damn thing, and I'm still going to finish it. I just, Smaug, building the dragon, just kind of took over everything. So the X-Wing is on hold. Here's a better picture of one of the engines. See, I've got so much of it built already. All I got to do is just finish it and put it together. And, you know, this is my Box O X-Wing parts. Yeah. I just got to finish it, that's all. And, not only the X-Wing, I wish I would have kept. You know, okay, if you've seen the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know who Star-Lord is, and you know his ship. It's the one that looks like a triangle, like a wedge in the front with wings sticking out on each side, like 3 of them on each side, and these thrusters. It's really badass looking. So, like I always do, I got ahead of myself. I want to build a bunch of things at once. I got ahead of myself, and I built for practical purposes, a sketch, but I built it out of cardboard. It wasn't, by any means was it detailed and complete and mind-blowingly, brain-meltingly awesome, but it gave me an idea of the proportions, the size, the shapes of different parts, and how to build it. It was a sketch. It was a 3D sketch I did, but it was an actual model, if you can call a model a sketch. I guess maybe it was a previs I did in cardboard, but it looked really good, even for a sloppy sketch. So after I build Smaug and the X-Wing, the Milano, Peter Quill's Star-Lord ship is my next project. I'm also going to build, if you've seen the Terminator, of course you have. You know what he looks like when his skin is all burnt off. He's a robot skeleton. He's badass looking. He's 6 feet tall, glowing red eyes. His head is like a skull made out of metal. His eyes glow red. He's got white teeth because, they're human teeth. He's supposed to disguise. He's a disguised robot. But then when all his skin's gone, he was revealed as a skeleton robot. And he's really badass looking. And I'm going to build him too. And, but not only that, not only cardboard models, I've got other ideas. I've already built my Mexican jumping boots, Mark 5, the 5th iteration. I've built 5 pairs of these damn things and threw away the first 4 because, they were flawed. And I finally finished my 5th one, and it is almost perfect. The load bearing pivot collapsed on one boot. So I got to fix that. Plus, I'm going to build a new one. For whenever I get serious about a YouTube channel, it's not going to be this YouTube channel that you're watching now, if you're watching this. It's going to be a new one. All of the videos I have on this channel, either that or I'll just take down all of my videos from this channel and use it for my prop channel, my DIY. I got an idea to call it DIY or die. But then again, YouTube is finicky about certain words, so I don't know if I'll be able to call it that. But I think that's a pretty witty, funny thing to call it, DIY or die. And it's not just going to be cardboard models by any means, no. It's going to be, I'm going to build those boots again, the bionic boots. I'm going to build another arcade cabinet once I get the cash. I figure I need about $1,000 to really do it up right. I'm going to build a laser light show using a speaker and a balloon and hot glue and a mirror and springs and lasers. And it projects this pattern on the wall which dances and moves to the music, and it's awesome. And I've already built one, but this one will be ultimate. It'll be really cool, and I'll document it on my channel. And also, not only that, if you're familiar at all with quantum mechanics, quantum field theory, the wave particle duality nature of the electromagnetic spectrum, photons, then you're familiar with the double slit experiment. And what it does is it proves the wave nature of light, which is composed of packets of photons called quanta, which is where quantum mechanics came from. And quanta. So it's an experiment which involves a laser beam, a piece of smoked glass, a razor blade for etching the glass, and tons of patience. Because the first time I built it, it took like 10 hours to get the thing set up, and oh my god, it was so exhausting. But I know how to do it now, and I can refine it and make it more professional and better, of course. So I'll do that. I'll also build a demonstration of the double slit experiment, which people can build themselves if they want. So not just cardboard, other materials too. What's something else I have an idea to build? I gotta zoom this in. Another idea to build is a, let's see. I'm almost done with the scales on this side. I should probably switch it over here in a minute. I just need to make sure all my details are finished, well and truly in place, which they're not quite yet, but they will be. Anyway, other things I want to build. I want to build a, okay, you see this guy right here? This Transformer, Decepticon? I want to build one of these guys out of cardboard. And this is one complicated thing. But it'll be so much fun to build one that works, that transforms and untransforms. It turns to a car, by the way. And what else do I want to do? I want to build, I said the arcade cab, the jumping boots. What else made out of aluminum? The double slit experiment. A lot more cardboard models. Maybe I'll demonstrate the how milk and food coloring react together. And I actually have a demonstration of that on this YouTube channel. But that's easy. I probably won't do that. That's kind of lame, actually. But it's fun. But maybe I'll demonstrate my my demon putty, which is basically like a ferrofluid, but instead of a fluid, it's more like a putty. It's iron filings mixed with a special type of synthetic oil, and I use my neodymium magnet, this right here. This, my neodymium magnet, which is just way too strong. I shouldn't have even put it there. I'll never get it off again. Anyway, that. You use the neodymium magnet to really make that demon pudding do really cool things. And so I'll demonstrate that. And then whatever else I think of. I figure I want to put out maybe one video a month, because it takes a while to do these. I mean, Smaug, this is a special case. I am building this guy. It's going to take, even if I were working on it full time, months to build. And I got people already wanting to buy it, which I'm not going to sell it. I might build another one and sell it, and this time document the process properly on YouTube. But this one, no, this is my first one. This is my baby, and I don't think I'll be selling it, no. Unless somebody offers me $20,000 for it, then I will. But who's going to do that? Nobody. But I also got an idea to open an Etsy store. And of course, I used to think Etsy, and I still do kind of think Etsy is for little old ladies and women, where they sell their crafts, your crafts they like to build. But if I were to start an Etsy channel and put Smaug on it, well, I'm sorry, but Etsy would probably break along with the rest of the internet. So I'll have to be really careful whenever I unleash this thing upon the unsuspecting internet. I don't want 8 billion people pissed off and looking for me to kill me just because I broke their internet whenever I uploaded my Smaug model. So I have to be careful. But anyway, I can maybe sell these on Etsy. And the X-Wing, I can build those. I can custom build them. The one I'm building is built to look like the space shuttle. But I can build them to look like Air Force jets, or at least with the symbology, USAF, Stars and Stripes, all that good stuff. And and other models. I can build anything, man. I'm not worried about whatever they might want to commission me to build. If they did, I'd be able to build it. I know it, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. It's just time. The time it takes me to build things, build models. I'd have to figure out a strategy, a way to up my game. Like using templates a lot more instead of just winging it like I'm doing on this one. Templates, I could already have them drawn out and ready to cut out, and have just copies and copies and copies of them. and use a template each time to trace out the major parts. And so that would really save a lot of time. So opening an Etsy store, that actually sounds like the most realistic path to actually converting what I'm doing, excuse me, sorry, into money, is by opening an Etsy store and seeing if there's a demand, if people want them. If people want original Smaug models, well, I'll build them, but it ain't going to be like it's going to take a long time. It's going to be a commission, and it'll take months. And I'm thinking, if I were to build those and really speed up the process where I could build one a month, bare minimum, I would charge for one $1,000. I don't think that's unfair. I've seen people sell model kits online that they've been commissioned to build plastic model kits. They charge $500 because they're professionals and they're good at it, and people pay that. And so it's easy for me to imagine somebody paying $500 for one of these, but of course 500 is not enough unless I can pump out 4 a month. Ideally, I would be able to build one a month and charge $1,000 for each one every month. And where am I going wrong here? I think I'm getting distracted because I'm talking so much. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. So maybe an Etsy store, or hell, who knows?